everyone, welcome to Be Yourself Studios. My name is Sandra Patricia and this is the Renaissance rebrand. Okay, I will stop dancing. Hi, welcome back to the ones who have been here before. You may notice that this channel has no videos at the moment aside from this one that you're seeing right now. If you've already been in this channel before, you know that I used to have some videos, but right now this is a fresh start. So all of those videos, if you have already watched them and you want to rewatch them again, you won't be able to see directly on my YouTube channel. But if you go to my website beyourselfstudios.com, you might be able to see the videos since I have them there unlisted. So yeah, I'm super excited to get into this video. I don't know how to title this video exactly because it is so much in one video. I don't know where to start. This is the rebrand. In this video, I'll be taking you through my process for doing a full-on rebrand of what you see right now, that is Be Yourself Studios. I changed everything. Throughout the years, I've made little tweaks here and there, but kept the same logo and mostly the same color palette, even though I didn't really have a color palette because I find it very difficult to choose colors because I want them all, but that's besides the point. This is an actual rebrand. I searched for colors, I picked the logo that I wanted to have, and it is completely different from the first one that I made and have been updating since 2020. So yeah, I'm very excited for this rebrand. Before we head into the design process and everything I did to complete this whole rebrand, and by the way, this rebrand entails the main graphics, so the logo, the color palette, the typography, and all the graphics for social media, for YouTube, and for my website, which is beyourselfstudios.com. If you want to check it out, it's linked in the description box. So yeah, that's what this rebrand entails. But first, let's head into a little bit of a story. I'm gonna make it as short as possible, but who knows, we all know that I like to talk, so I'll make sure to leave timestamps in the description box, or you can see them in the video, I'm pretty sure. So yeah. First, where it began. Once upon a time, I don't have the story, I'm making it up with an outline. Once upon a time, there was an 11-year-old girl. She has been a crafter for life, a creative of sorts, who always dabbled into everything, loved movies, novelas, TV shows, K-dramas, whatever you can think of that has an artistic element to it, she loved. And aside from that, she also was a very crafty girl. She made purses out of paper. She made so many things out of paper. It was kind of a problem. Maybe had a slight addiction to notebooks, but that's besides the point. That's not part of the story. At 11 years old, she started seeing this other medium of art, and it was through a platform called YouTube. You see where we're headed? And she realized it was so fun to watch these videos, and the people that were making these videos, they were just like her in their homes with maybe a family camera or their phone or something like that, and they picked up their computer and uploaded these fun videos to the internet for other people who are like-minded or interested in the same things, which is the same thing as like-minded, to watch. And that's when she started noticing and being interested in this platform and the entertainment it provided. So at 11 years old, she decided that she wanted to also create content, but at the time she was in school and had other responsibilities and understood that being a teenager is important. So she said that she would start making content on this platform the moment she turned 18, because that's when she would be free of school and having more freedom at university. So that's what she decided. And around 2019 to 2020, I know her timing is just interesting, let's just say. In 2019 to 2020, she decided to launch her website. Why did she launch her website before launching the YouTube channel? Because, I don't know, I was 11, so probably 2013. So from 2013 till 2020, she spent all of that time researching and consuming that content and seeing what was the best equipment, what was the best strategy for posting content, how to make high quality content, and immersing herself in the content creation and marketing world, and obviously anything regarding the entertainment industry she also kept up with throughout all of those years. So again, in 2020 she launched her website because she realized through all of that research that starting a YouTube channel would require a lot of work and and it would take a lot of time, and she wanted to practice before heading full on into the content creation world. So she started with her website and was pretty consistent throughout 2020, surprisingly, and was pretty consistent with blogging and posting on Instagram. So I gotta say, Instagram wasn't her forte, but yeah, she kept on creating content throughout 2020, and in 2021 she decided, I'm just gonna start creating YouTube videos, and posted her first YouTube video. That, again, her timing maybe was not the best, but she had the greatest intention. So in 2021 she started posting YouTube videos, was consistent for about a month, and then 2021 turned out to be not the greatest year, sadly. But then, not to panic, we still have 2022. And in 2022, she started once again, was consistent for about 1 to 2 months. She was consistent for 2 months, guys. Let's give her credit for that. But again, sadly, 2022 didn't turn out to be the greatest year. It is what it is. We gotta keep holding on. But now we have what I like to call the Renaissance. Now, you might be thinking, that's a bit dramatic, the Renaissance. And I know it's dramatic, but you know why? Because I'm dramatic. It only makes sense to title something as dramatic as I am. So the Renaissance. What is the Renaissance? A fresh start. And I mean a fresh start, like from the ground up. The only thing that I'm keeping of Be Yourself Studios is the name Be Yourself Studios. Aside from that, I'm throwing everything away for the sake of not taking away the content that has been published and the work that I've already put into it. I have everything on my website, so all of the videos that you may have seen before, you can access them on my website. Everyone can see them. They're just unlisted there, just so that I don't see them on the YouTube channel, because I want to have a fresh start on this new year. And yeah, just wanted to have a fresh start. I will probably make them public once I have more videos after this rebrand. I just wanted to have a blank canvas, and for the sake of it, I just put them unlisted, and once I have a few more videos, I'll be putting them public. I think I may change my mind, but regardless, you can access them on my website. So that's the long story short. That isn't so short, but yeah. Now, like I mentioned, 2022 hasn't been the best year, and I know not only for me, but for a lot of people, it just has been a rough decade. So yeah, I wanted to have a fresh start, and from September on, I started working on my vision for Be Yourself Studios. I already mentioned that Be Yourself Studios was started in 2020, and though I had the idea for Be Yourself Studios years ago, I didn't have a clear vision of how I wanted it to look like. That has been my biggest struggles when it comes to Be Yourself Studios these past few years, is figuring out how I wanted it to look, because again, I couldn't decide the color, I couldn't decide the actual font. I'm not an illustrator, so I made everything by myself, and it never became that finished product that I wanted to see. But I still kept going, doing tweaks every few months or so to update the logo, but it was the same, and it didn't vibe with me anymore. So in September, I picked up this notebook, which is a notebook that I made, and I took out the pages that I already had in it. And by took out, I mean I literally cut out the pages and glued the cover once again to the notebook. And here I just went all out, and by all out, I mean all out. This whole chunk of the notebook, basically the whole notebook, is full of all the details and brainstorming sessions for this rebrand. And I love this notebook so much. It's literally blank printer paper, and it's perfect. I have 3 ribbon bookmarks, and I just love it. One day, not today, but one day I will go do a little flip through of this notebook, because it's not perfect, and it has so many sketches and scratching things off and starting a new design once again, and just lists and lists of ideas and brainstorms and more sketches. It's just beautiful, and it is the foundation for what the rebrand became. So yeah, I'm really proud of this notebook. I even planned my second brain in Notion on this notebook. The second brain databases and the whole system I planned in this notebook, but that's besides the point. Let's get into the rebrand. I'm sorry I start talking a lot. Let me start from the beginning. I am so sorry for the rambling. I'll probably put a timestamp saying I rambled assembled non-stop in that section. But in September, I got a clear view of how I wanted Be Yourself Studios to look, so I started sketching away and brainstorming all the ideas and spent those 30 days completing all the designs and all the sketches for Be Yourself Studios. And then in October, I spent that whole month, literally 31 days, building my workspace in Notion. And by workspace, I mean, I'm so proud of it. It took 31 days of building the perfect second brain and system for me to use in Notion, and I love it. It was a lot of work, and I don't recommend spending a month in that if you're a creative. Add some creative elements to your routine, because by the end of that last week, I was just so tired of doing admin stuff, and I love the graphs and the tables and the lists and all that good stuff, but I also need my colors and paints and notebooks, just more artistic elements into my day-to-day. So again, if you're trying to create that workspace, just go slowly but surely heading into that direction, but also dabbling some extra creative stuff. I'm just extreme and dramatic. Like I said, I'm calling this whole rebrand the Renaissance. So that's how I spent October. And in November, all the sketches that I did throughout September, I started designing. And if you're interested in anything at all that I've been using these past few years for my website and content creation, you can find it in my What I Use page on beyourselfstudios.com. I'll make sure to link it in the description box down below, along with everything else that I may mention throughout this video. So again, November, 30 days of designing non-stop, making sure that I have all the graphics made up for the rebrand. And lastly, we have December, which is the moment that I'm filming this video right now. Today is the 30th, and I've been spending this whole month prepping and planning content for 2023, also getting ready personally for 2023. And this past week, I've spent adding all the graphics, setting up the website, and it didn't take that long because thankfully, since I already had the sketches, not only of the graphics, but also how I wanted each page to look like, it was just copy and paste but digitally. That was super fun. That's how I spent this past week. But now let's talk about the actual rebrand process. I am so sorry for this whole story. How long have I been filming? Oh my god, it's been 20 minutes? Yeah, 20 minutes. Okay, we can work with that. I'm gonna drink some water because I've been talking non-stop, and you're like, yeah girl, you've been talking non-stop. We can cut off on the talking a little bit, I know. First, we'll go through the main branding elements, then we'll go to the general site changes, the graphics, and to each individual page and platform. First, let's get into the main branding elements. For me, the main branding elements are the logo, the color palette, and the typography. But the first thing I did was create a mood board, just selecting all the images and illustrations and painting designs, and mostly the vibe that I wanted this rebrand to have, all the colors, the things that I wanted to focus on, because like I mentioned, choosing colors ain't my forte. I find it so difficult. I want them all like Sharpay, so it's just complicated. I went to Pinterest and made a mood board of all the images that I liked the vibes or the colors on, and added them to that board. And then I got inspired from those images to start choosing colors. And here I went a little bit out of the, how should I say this, out of the conventional, let's say, because when working with branding and stuff, you are recommended to choose 3 to 5 colors, something like that, and I just couldn't. That choosing 3 to 5 colors gave me so much stress because I just couldn't choose them, and when I wanted to, I didn't really like how I was using them. So I scratched that and said, you know what, I'm gonna choose as many colors as I want within reason. somewhat and just work with them. It doesn't matter that people recommend it's 3 to 5 colors, because that hasn't been working for me, and that makes me feel blocked and stressed, and I just don't want to work like that. I want to have fun creating this design, so I picked at the end about 18 colors, I'm pretty sure. I know it's a little bit much, but do not judge me, it works for me. And then I went through Canva. By the way, I set up the colors that I wanted to use in Canva, just worked with the color wheel. That's not called the color wheel, that's it's not the wheel, it's the square, but basically the color wheel. On Canva, I worked with that and just selected the color and a little presentation template. Then again on Canva, I made 3 little columns and basically tried out every single font that they have and played with them and chose 3 fonts that I could be using for calligraphy, 3 fonts that I could be using for the text like the blog post, and 3 fonts that I could be using for headings. Again, I'm not the most minimalistic person, but are we surprised? I don't think so. So that's when it comes to the typography, and after I had the color palette and the typography, I went on to working the actual designs. And this is the most exciting part, the working on the logo. When it comes to the logo, as you can see, it looks like a butterfly, and that's intentional because, like I mentioned, this whole year just was interesting. Well, these past few years have been interesting. They came with a lot of sprinkles, let's say. In my family, we've always loved butterflies, and sort of like a concept that I started thinking about throughout this year is that this year I was in my chrysalis form, and I had to be in my chrysalis form right now to become a butterfly, and that's why I'm calling it the Renaissance, because I was first born a caterpillar, became a chrysalis through these past tougher years, and now I'm ready to become a butterfly. So I wanted to add the butterflies and lotus flowers to my designs and to basically the concept of this whole rebrand, and that's how I made this logo. You can see the logo, and it has a little heart in this, guys, where the head of the butterfly is supposed to be. That's just a nod to the previous logo. That was a flower heart with petals, and yeah, just wanted to give that little nod there. And the body of the butterfly is a bee for Be Yourself Studios, and it can also become a rose because I've always loved roses. Again, these are little details that I just wanted to include in the logo, and that just made sense when I was sketching out what I wanted the logo to look like. So yeah, very simple, not many colors on the logo like I had before, and I'm just really happy with it, and that's how the logo turned out. Now that's it when it comes to the main branding elements. Now let's head on to basically, the first thing I did was just change all the settings that I had on the theme. I customized the logo, I changed the typography because right now I did have a typography to choose. I wasn't choosing random stuff to basically fill in the details of the theme, and was very intentional with everything that I added on the sidebar, on the heading, on the footer. Everything was carefully planned out throughout September, so I just added and made sure everything was set up the way I wanted it in my website layout. So yeah, that's when it comes to the general site changes. Now let's talk about the main website graphics. These are graphics that don't belong to a specific page but could be used throughout many different pages on my website, which is why I got them done either on the first week or on the first few weeks I started working on this rebrand. The first one was a galaxy background. It was quite interesting to make this galaxy background because, again, I'm not an illustrator, so it was just interesting and super fun to work with the program that I was using, which was Medibank, to reach the vision that I was going for on how I wanted it to look like. At first, it wasn't working for me, but I took my time and it became what I wanted it to look like, and I'm super proud of it. So that's the first thing I did. Then I made some fairy lights because I want stars and sparkles and fairy lights and galaxies. I called this whole rebrand, aside from the Renaissance title, which is super dramatic, I called it the Winter Fairy Galaxy theme, and those are all the elements that I wanted to include on this website. So yeah, I needed some fairy lights, of course, because I love me some fairy lights and sparkles, so I have to hide them and added them as one of the little designs that I was making. Then I made a profile picture frame. This one is more floral, and yeah, it looks basically like the fairy lights, but it's more floral, and it's for my picture frame on the about page and a little snippet about me that it's on the website. So yeah, I made that profile frame. Then I started making the promo graphics. I don't know if that's what they are called. I just call them that. You can see them on the screen and on the time lapse. I call them promo graphics, but I don't know if they have a technical name to them. I made 6 promo graphics. One was for YouTube, one was for blog posts, one was for Instagram, one for TikTok, one for Pinterest, and one for the free printables that are on the free printables page on my website. These are graphics that I've put on multiple pages just to promote these things and these content profiles. Now we're gonna head into the graphics that I made specifically for each individual page. I didn't make that many individual graphics for each page because again, it was a design that I was going for. So a lot of the main graphics that I made for the website I used throughout these pages. Just made a few that were specific to their page. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So first I made a hero banner graphic. I made a hot air balloon graphic for my homepage. It has a lotus flower. Just wanted to go with that again because I've always loved lotus flowers. So it just made sense for me. I wanted to include a lotus flower, and since it wasn't on the logo, I put it on the hero banner. That's my main explanation for it. My main struggle with this graphic was the colors again, because I struggle so much choosing colors because I want to include them all. I may be changing it at some point if I make up my mind of what colors to choose, but yeah, that was an interesting project, choosing the colors for the hot air balloon. Then we have the contact page. This was the banner that I had the most fun on because it was a full hero banner, since the other banners that I was working on were mostly half banners because the other half of the hero banner is going to be used for text or a heading or something like that. So it was super fun to work on the hero banner for the content page. It is a little bit inspired on my studio. I like to call my bedroom my studio because, you know, you can be extra or you cannot be extra, and I'm always gonna choose being extra because go big or go home. So yeah, it was mostly inspired for things that I have throughout my studio, so the books and the notebooks and the laptop and the little drawer organizer for all my stationery and crafting supplies, and a calendar of course on the wall because it just makes sense. So again, this banner was super fun to make. Here comes the time lapse of how I made the content page. Then we have the hero banner graphic for the What I Use page. This was also super fun to make. I wanted to make some equipment elements. I made a laptop, a ring light, a camera, a notebook. I had a lot of fun, and also figuring out how to make the ring light look like it was glowing. I learned so much about drawing digitally through this whole experience of doing the rebrand. I'm just super happy with it. It's one of my favorite graphics that I made for this whole rebrand. Then we have the hero banner graphic for the free printables page. It's a printer and it also has a calendar on top, because a lot of the printables that I have on my website are for planning stuff. I have calendars, to-do lists, book review page, and a self-care workbook and stuff like that. It was just super fun, and I wanted to make a printer because I've always loved drawing printers or typewriter machines. So yeah, that was super fun as well, and I wanted to make it super colorful, and I think it turned out good for the free printables page. Lastly, this is a banner that I made for 2 pages. This was the hero banner for both the contact page and the about page. So the hero banner has that galaxy background, but it sort of stops in a wavy line at the bottom, and it has a lotus flower because, again, just an excuse to add a lotus flower because I love them. And on the middle of it, it's basically a quote banner because it says, "The sky is big enough for all of us stars to shine bright." That's one of the things that I've always loved saying, and ever since I was in high school I thought of saying this because yeah, I just believe everyone should dream big and everyone deserves to accomplish their goals. And again, the sky, the galaxy, it's big enough for all of us stars to shine bright. The more stars we have, the more light there is. So yeah, I know it's super cheesy, don't judge me. I just had to include this quote, so I added it to the about and contact page. Then we have the links page. This page is going to have a combination of all the graphics that the other pages had, but I didn't make a specific graphic for this page, for I had enough with all the graphics that I made for the other pages. Now let's head into the graphics that I made for social media platforms, and this includes Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, and I think that's it. Did I say Pinterest? I'm pretty sure I did, but if I didn't, also include it in that. So for graphics on these social media platforms, I have the logo. On my website, you can see the main logo without a background, so it's just the outline. But on social media and here on the logo for the YouTube channel, you can see it has a colored background, so I just had to make that little adjustment to the logo, add a background to it. It was super simple. And for more specialty content, I made templates for Pinterest infographics and Instagram carousels. So whenever I want to create again a Pinterest infographic or an Instagram carousel, I can just head on to these templates and work with them since they are already set up in multiple colors. And for them, aside from using all the graphics that Canva provides, I also made some overlays. They are wings. They could be butterfly wings or fairy wings. I didn't really use any reference for them. I just started making patterns and the designs of the wings to put in the background as an overlay. I don't know how much sense that makes since it's a overlay for the background, but let's just roll with it. Yeah, I made those little designs to add those butterfly slash fairy elements to the templates. I also made a banner for my qotd page. So that's just a page where you can see lists of things that I use. So let's say if you want to see my favorite bullet journaling supplies in a list, you can see them on qotd and get them on Amazon or whatever page the product is at. You can get those on qotd. It's sort of like an Amazon storefront, but it's not only for Amazon. So yeah, on the qotd page you can put a banner. So I made a banner for that, and it is the same banner for Facebook, for Twitter, for Pinterest, and I think that's it. None of the other platforms have banners. So yeah, I made a social media banner. It was super simple. It is more of a promotional banner than a hero banner like for the website. So yeah, I made that banner real quick. That's it when it comes to the main social media graphics that I made. Now I had to make the promotional graphics, and these are the story templates for when I want to promote a YouTube video, a blog post, a printable, or stuff like that. I made this on Canva as well, and it was super fun. I had so much fun making them. And aside from the Instagram stories, whenever I upload a video, a blog post, or a printable, I also share them on my Pinterest. So I have a Pinterest pin template for that. I'm pretty sure that's it when it comes to those promotional graphics, and again I made them on Canva. Now let's head onto the YouTube channel graphics, and here I won't only be talking about static graphics but also motion graphics that I made for these YouTube videos. So yeah, this was again so much fun. Well, this whole rebrand process was so much fun, especially since I really took my time with it. It was just, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope you like all the designs. So when it comes to static graphics for the YouTube channel, I think I only made the banner, which was really interesting to make. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm kind of in a love-hate situation with it, but it's more love than hate, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is. It has a lot of butterfly wings because I just had to. It has film strips to represent the videos, and flowers because when in doubt, just add floral elements to it. So yeah, it was a very interesting banner to make. That was the only banner that I sort of went with the flow when it comes to designing it, and I just added some text over it on Canva. The design I made on Medibank, but then I moved the design to Canva and added the text that it has on it. So yeah, I hope you like it. It looks interesting, but I like it. It's unique, let's just say. Now let's talk about the motion graphics. Now for this, I need to go to my DaVinci Resolve project to see all the graphics because I just made them all in a few days, and yeah, I just went with it. The project is obviously called the Renaissance YouTube template because, again, the drama. So when it comes to the motion graphics, I'll be putting them on the screen as I'm going through them. First, we have the comment call to action here. I can ask you guys to put a comment. I can lead you guys to a link on this one. Then is the like, subscribe, and click the bell of notifications pop up. Then we have the social media handles. Now we have the Sandra Patricia name slide pop up. Then the weekly transition, read this blog post overlay, watch this video overlay, to-do list pop up, and monthly reset checklist pop up, which is basically the same as the to-do list. It just has a different title. Also, the only designs that I made for the motion graphics that I made by hand were the butterfly that I used for the name pop up and the to-do list, and the sparkles that are on the subscribe pop up. So yeah, that's it when it comes to the motion graphics. I'll probably be making motion graphics up as I go since it was really fun to make them. Now comes one of the things that takes the most time but is the most satisfying to have ready to go, which is the music research. I just went onto the YouTube music library and searched for a lot of songs to add to different folders for when I'm editing videos, because as much as I love music, if I focused on it too much on each video, I would never end up uploading the video because it just takes so long to find music. So now that I know what type of videos I'll be creating and the vibes that I'm going for, I'll just have a bunch of songs that fit within the vibes and the themes of each video, since I'll have them separated in different folders, disclosing the vibes or style or whatever activity I'm doing in that specific video. Lastly, let's talk about the content changes that I'll be making for this rebrand. As you can see, I'm starting with a blank canvas, and that's not only on YouTube but on all social media platforms. So the things are gonna change a little bit. It's still gonna be moi, but when it comes to the content changes, I have a couple of goals, and the content schedule is going to be changing every few months. And by the changes that it's going to have, I mean when it comes to consistency. At first, I want to start slow, so my main goal right now is to post at least one YouTube video a week. So if I get one YouTube video a week, that's my main priority. So as soon as I have the hang of it for a few months, I will work on posting more content. But again, I want to start small. So for the first few months of this year, I'm going to be posting one video a week here on YouTube. My second main social media platform is going to be Instagram, because there I can put different formats of content, so I can work on stories and reels and carousels and photos and all that good stuff. Let's say if I post for a week straight Instagram reels, those reels will also be going on Pinterest, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. So on whatever platform you're following me, you will be able to see all the content that I'm posting. But again, when it comes to social media, at the moment they are just sort of the hobby within the hobby. The main priority when it comes to content for these first few months is to post at least one YouTube video each week, because that's just the thing that makes me the happiest, and I just want to work on being the best version of myself, working on the things that make me the happiest throughout this year and throughout my life. So yeah, I'm just very excited. I hope you like this video. I know it was a long one. If you have any questions at all about this whole rebrand, again, I'm not a professional. I mostly use tutorials on YouTube or figure it out as I go, clicking on all the buttons until I find the one that does what I needed to do. But if I can be of any help, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make sure to answer you as best as I can. This is it for the first video of 2023, and for the first video since the renaissance of Be Yourself Studios. I know, the drama. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell notifications so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Be yourself, be happy, be human. Sending you lots of love.